we're bringing the best of late night. You may have seen her on the red carpet just this past Sunday. She was nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for Best Talk Show. And we last spoke to my next guest when she and her sister came to talk about their book that they co-authored together. And now she's back and is an Emmy-nominated host for her own late-night show, The Amber Ruffin Show. It's her weekly take on current news and events every week. She's dressed to the nines in her signature style and trademark bow ties, but it is what that comes out of her mouth that is amazing. Let's just welcome her one more time, as if we didn't see her in that commercial break, the one and only Amber Ruffin! Welcome! Listen, I love it. Get it. Listen. Okay, I said to my team, I said, she just came out. I'm like, we are giving Amber Ruffin her walk out here so we can see the whole majesty of it all. Congratulations, season 2 just started. Seth and I were talking, he said, how many seasons you're in? I said, 3, and we got renewed for 2 more. How does it feel once you get, well, no, because I say that to say, once you get that one season down and you've been renewed for season 2, you're like, ooh, I won't embarrass my family. They gave me one more. How does it feel to have that second launch there?
It feels crazy because I was like, hey, fingers crossed, we get 3 episodes. I was ready for that thing to be snatched away so bad. But it is like, it feels, I was saying to my friend the other day, having a show like this, it feels like what it feels like when you're poor. Because everything could be snatched away in 1 second. Yeah. Like, remember being poor and you had, what if you were 1 paycheck away from everything going to disaster? It is the same, like, low-grade panic all of the time.
There's no comfort zone.
Yeah, there is no comfort zone.
You're on 10.
And I just wanted to say that to bring it down.
Bring it down. Just try to bring it down a little bit. Bring the room down. But no. But also, you know what? Having that feeling also means you have nothing to lose. So you go in hard. Like, by the time we got our second season, I was like, listen, we're gonna change some things, we're gonna improve some things, and God bless, we were able to do that. When you looked at the second season, did you say, all right, we got 1 down, now let me bring in some things I've been really wanting to do?
No.
Really?
From the very beginning, I was like, well, I still work on late night Seth.
Oh.
I was like, I have a job.
I think that's genius, because I was unemployed, so I had to listen to some people that I didn't necessarily want to listen to. But you had a backup job.
That's right, I did have a backup job. So I was like, we're gonna, and also like the history of Black women doing late night is tiny little seasons if you make it to the end of 1. So I was like, we're gonna go out with a bang. Friggin' 4th episode, woo, bang, 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 bang.
So because you started out authentic, doing what you wanted to do, what more did you need to do for season 2 to take it up to the expectation? Because now people have expectations. They're like, this is Amber, this is what she does. Now what else you got?
Well, you know what I didn't know would be a regular thing was our... Oddly, like our kind of trademark thing is a segment called How Did We Get Here, where it's like a deep dive into Black history that not everybody knows. And that became such a huge part of the show. Yeah. And I was like, I guess we're doing one of these almost every show.
Okay, which brings me to my next question, because people always, as you know, the minute that you bring up either being a woman or being Black, is that all you have to talk about? But yet that evolved and emerged as one of the most popular parts of your show. So you know that people will make that juxtaposition. What else does she bring to the table, which is everything. How did you feel when that became the most popular segment, or one of the most?
Again, I was shocked that anything became a popular anything.
Really?
It's just like, hooray. But no, I really loved it because that whole segment started because of a writer named Michael Harriot, and I followed him on Twitter, and he would do all these Twitter threads.
I know, he's like, brilliant.
Yes, and it would teach you a piece of Black history you don't know. And I was like, read them like a madman, you know, hungry for this information. And I thought, I wonder if he would write these down and let me say them.
Wow.
And it turns out he would, and he did, and he's still doing it.
Who do you, because there are, and he is brilliant. Because there are so few women of any background who've done this, period.
Yep.
What blueprint did you follow? I mean, I even, obviously people always thought, okay, she looked at Oprah, she looked at Rolanda. There were so many women in daytime for me to pull from, and the greatest being Oprah. But there was no blueprint, or very little of a blueprint.
There really wasn't much of a blueprint, but there were people doing it. Robin Thede.
Of course.
Wanda Sykes, Whoopi Goldberg, a lot of people have done it. But yeah, I was like, again, we're gonna go out with a bang. We're gonna do exactly what we feel like doing.
Is there anything that you won't touch? I mean, are there things where you say, listen, oh boy, I'm a growing show and I want to get viewers versus lose viewers?
You know what I had thought until last week? Last week we did a How Did We Get Here about Princess Matoka, about Native stereotypes.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm probably not going to speak to stuff that's not Black. But I am. And it turns out there's room for that. I just have never been called on to do such a thing, you know, because I'm Black and a lady and American, so anything I would touch applies to me. You know, I had
Was
never
that a self-imposed rule? Because
yeah.
Oh, really?
It was a self-imposed rule. No one said anything. I just thought, well, I'm certainly not going to speak about things that have nothing to do with me.
Really?
But I'm doing it.
I'm happy you are doing it. I'm happy you are. And when we come back, how Amber went from never believing she could write for late night to becoming an Emmy-nominated host. Next.
Astronomers have discovered two supermassive black holes that are on their way towards a collision with each other that will rock the very fabric of space and time. And to that I say, no thank you. I don't want anything to do with this piece of news. Yeah, I don't want to think about that at all. You see, some news gives me the blues. Some news makes me feel pissed. But some news is just so bad, baby. I pretend it doesn't exist.
We are back with Emmy-nominated writer Amber Ruffin. Okay, you didn't see yourself as being a writer. Did you see yourself as being a singer? At first, I thought they'd auto-tune. I was like, is that Amber? That's your voice.
Yes. No, it does shock me that no one asked me to stop singing.
No. You sound good. You sound good.
Thank you. That's
You
very
don't want to
nice
hear
of
this.
you.
Listen, though, I was asking Seth this. I'll ask you. There was a study, 63% of young people, 61% of young people get their news or prefer to get their news in some capacity from late night shows like yours. Does that put pressure? Do you wonder why they're doing that? What's your thoughts on that?
Doesn't put pressure on me. They should not be doing that.
Really?
Do not do that. Please.
But why do you think they are? Why do you think they are?
They are because the news is bad. It hurts to read. It almost physically hurts to read
I know.
So to get it with a little bit of levity, it makes a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yeah. Now, what have you learned about yourself that you did not? I'm one of these heady questions that people often ask. What did you learn about yourself that you didn't know now that you've started this show?
I learned that I have the capacity to be a workaholic.
You are.
I would not have guessed that about myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I would have guessed it, because I think to get there, and again, being one of a handful of women to do it, you have to be a workaholic.
I have a problem. And the problem
Give
is
me an
work.
example. Do you sleep with your phone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you sleep with the TV on?
No, I can't.
See, I do.
But then...
You know why?
Why?
I was a reporter in Chicago. I went to bed, and Al Gore was the president. I woke up, George Bush was president. I said, I will never turn my TV off again. I said, what I missed? Well, and that's not a political stance. It's just the world changed while I was asleep. And I was like, what happened? And that's truly what I felt that night. And I have not, I keep my television on, and I luckily married someone who likes the TV on too.
Oh, lucky.
Well, okay, give me a definition for you in your life that makes you a workaholic.
That I will be asleep. You know how you get up to pee? Do you know how I get up to pee? I get up and I pee, and when I come back, I usually am like, I got a funny idea. Let me just quickly,
Right.
quickly write it down, and it'll be like 15 minutes, and I'll be like, I'm so great, and then I'll go back to sleep. And that, I think that's bad
That
behavior.
definitely falls into it. What's the first thing you read as far as a news source in the morning?
In the morning, I wake up and I put on the news, and I watch the news with my coffee every morning, and I go from the. I just so happen to know how the news times out. You know how news
the
goes
commercial
from
break.
news to like party time,
7:25 a.m.
fun party.
That's the time.
That's right. And I flip back and forth in between each show, and I watch it from the beginning to get all the news I can.
So you consume still through television. You don't go
That's
on.
right.
It's like some people even go, to Twitter and even now TikTok to get their news.
Let me figure out how to get news from TikTok, and it is over. It's over. And the show becomes a dance show, and that's all she wrote.
So you've now written the book with your sister. Now you're season 2 in of the show, and you're a workaholic. What's next?
I'm writing a Broadway show called. I'm writing a Broadway show, which is a remake of Some Like It Hot. Yeah. So it hits Broadway this fall.
Yeah.
So I don't sleep.
You don't sleep.
No.
And I can't wait to the fall. I think
It's
it is
cute.
a
It's so
brilliant next act. Before we go, you wear bow ties. That's your signature.
Yeah.
This does count as a bow tie for those who are wondering.
Yes.
And is that your cape, like your superhero cape now?
It is my superhero cape, Tamron. Yay!
Well, listen, it definitely works because it has allowed you to rise above the rest and the noise to be the brilliant, amazing, stunningly styled late night queen that you are. Thank you, Amber Ruffin. And you can watch the Amber Ruffin Show Season 2 on Peacock.